Profile is brought to you by Mossberg.
Most hunters scoff at the idea that a world-class buck could be living on public hunting land. But that's where Minnesota shotgun hunter Glenn Sinsky got his massive non-typical in 2010. Here's the exciting story straight from the hunter.
We got out there late, and so we got in, we rushed in right away, and it was just me and my friend Dave Resch. And we walked in there, and I heard a deer take off, and I turned and looked at him, and I said, you know, I think we got out here a little bit too late. So he goes, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to sit on this deadfall right here in the morning because my son seen a big buck and a doe cross the river over here. So I said, I'm just going to sit here till about 9 o'clock, 9:30, then I'll walk back in and put up my climbing stand. And so he said, okay, so he went off into the woods to put up his climbing stand. I cleared out the leaves on the ground and sat on that deadfall. And sitting there, I'd say no more than 10 minutes at best. And all of a sudden I look up and I see hear the leaves rustling. I look up and I see the flicker of the antlers coming right towards me. And I said, oh, this is going to be beautiful. Can't get no better than this. He's coming right for me. So I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting, and he got, starting to get close. There was a little bit of brush in front of me, so I stood up, and that's when he turned. I took my first shot. Well, I didn't hit him the first shot. He took 3 jumps, and he stopped, and he turned, and he looked back at me, and I had the scope on him, and I shot, and he just fell, just dropped like a ton of bricks. I was thinking, oh, the guys are going to be ticked off because I got that big 10 or that 12-pointer. I had no idea that this guy was this big. When I walked up to him, I almost fell over. I mean, I was speechless. I walked up and I went, oh, my God, this isn't the 10. This is better. First thing that I noticed that is unusual is just the thick mass that's right up around it here. It's almost like a moose antler looking at you. It's just unbelievable. The thickness and the mass, I just could not believe that I dropped something that was this. This is a buck of a lifetime. Especially on public land, people don't see this every day. We got the deer back here, and we had it laying out in the front yard, and all the neighbors started filtering in, and then the neighbor's son, Brian Thompson, come pulling up the drive, and he said, that's it, that's him, that's the guy I was after with my bullhouse ball. He said, I can't believe he got him. But he goes, I thank God that somebody local got him. So yeah, he was shocked, and he had it on trail camera back behind their farm. Well, everybody was just ecstatic. They were calling it. My whole front yard was just full of people. I had people here I didn't even know. But everybody was just congratulating me and couldn't believe it that it was shot back there. And I think some of the people were more excited than I was, to see a deer that big, from their local area.
Stan, what an incredible buck from public land, Minnesota. You don't see many of those.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, folks. But we need you right back here next week.